I can't count the number of times in my own life where I felt like an imposter. That said, I am going to give a controversial opinion, probably going to get me cancelled, but I think there's an underlying truth that just because you feel a sense of imposter syndrome doesn't mean that you're not incompetent.
So I read a take recently in the FT around imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is now just so common, we should actually reframe the way we think about it and just accept it as part of the human condition. How do you think about it? Do you believe in it? Do you think we should reframe the way we think and speak about it?
I can't count the number of times that I've felt an imposter in my life, usually through putting myself in uncomfortable situations for the first time. It's a normal, healthy part of the human consciousness. I think it's great that as a collective group, we speak about this because it's relatable, it's honest, and there's something pleasant about talking about our vulnerabilities. I think that's an important step forward for society. All of that said, I am going to give a controversial opinion, probably going to get me cancelled, but I think there's an underlying truth that just because you feel a sense of imposter syndrome doesn't mean that you're not incompetent and not worthy to be there. Those two things can coexist, and as harsh as that sound, I mean it with the purest of intentions. The body signals fear, anxiety, these things to protect you. And there are many times where people will hide under the cloak of imposter syndrome when they're just not capable enough. In contrast to that, so many times where we put self-imposed barriers, we are crippled by imposter syndrome that stop us furthering ourselves or achieving what we want to achieve. Those two things can coexist. I actually think more broadly, it's great that we're speaking about imposter syndrome, but we can't forget the fact that imposter syndrome and not being capable in certain scenarios can also be a protective mechanism for the person and help people set them up for success in the long term.